Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us today in the Scout 800 as we're going to try and get the final remaining Watchtowers unlocked and open, pick up a few upgrades along the way and maybe some tasks as well. So today it's more of an exploring episode as we try and finish off seeing all of the Smithfield Dam map. I'm going to start with this first upgrade with us approaching now. Let's see what this has in store for us. So this upgrade is a raised suspension and it's for the Scout 800. Nice. So we can now put a raised suspension up on our Scout. I think that will help us. I know I throw the Scout around a hell of a lot. You know, it doesn't get damaged amazingly. Every time we roll it, it doesn't get damaged. But I do throw it around a lot. So I do ask a lot of it. I don't know if, because it seems quite unstable, the Scout 800, especially in corners and stuff. I wonder if the raised suspension will make that worse or make it better. I'm not too sure. But at some point when we get back to the garage, we'll stick the raised suspension on. Now we've just found it. And hopefully it'll improve the Scout a little bit more. I really love this vehicle. This vehicle for me is incredible. Yeah, it's definitely my favourite Scout vehicle so far. To be fair, we've only tried two. Because we've only used the Scout 800 and the Chevrolet. And the Chevrolet's okay, but I definitely prefer the Scout. I don't know what it is about it, but I really like how the Scout works. Right, we've got some really awful terrain we're trying to cross here. Obviously very flooded. And we've just got to keep trying to move towards where the road used to be. And see how we go. Diff-lock's engaged. Oh, in fact, Diff-lock's always engaged in the Scout 800. The all-wheel drive's engaged and we're on low range as well. Trying to find our way through. Trying to stick to land as much as possible, but it is very flooded. So we're trying to find our way through the trees. And so far, like I say, the Scout 800 doesn't put a foot wrong. It's very rare I criticise the Scout 800. Every time that something bad happens in this vehicle, it's my fault. It's not the vehicle's fault, it's my fault. And yeah, I love this vehicle. I know at some point we're going to find probably better Scout vehicles. It's almost guaranteed, considering this is it's only the second one we found. But I love it, I really do. So I'm going to be disappointed, I think, when we find something better. But I'm sure you will in due course. Okay, where are we trying to go here? So the road kind of bends to the right here. You can just make out some of the broken road on the map there. It's kind of where we're going to be heading towards. I'd always try and stick to where the road used to be, where possible. If I can actually get around the tree. Mainly because I think that's the best route to take in terms of it's going to be the most stable underfoot, or under the wheels in fact. If there's any kind of resemblance of a road still there, although flooded, you're more likely to be on firmer ground. That's my kind of thinking anyway, as we get ourselves unstuck. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. But we can try and dodge between different patches of ground along the way. It's not always true, but it's kind of my thinking is if the road used to be there, underneath the water is the road. So my thinking is then, well, the road is firm. So following that path probably makes sense. I don't know, just my way of looking at it, I suppose. I don't know how much we're going to get done today. I'm hoping to get quite a bit found and retrieved. Upgrades and watchtowers done. That's the aim anyway. Right, from here, we've kind of gone into a middle pathway. So when I was just saying we follow the roadway, we are kind of following it, we're just not on it. So I want to try and get across there by the looks of things. See how this turns out when we get to the end of this bit of land. I do love the different kind of terrain that we've come across so far. I know we're very early on, Michigan. You know, the terrain is going to be very wet, muddy, and obviously at some point when we're ready, when we actually finally finish Michigan, we're going to move to Alaska. Completely different terrain, snow, ice. It's going to be a completely different kettle of fish. But so far, and this is full credit to the game as well, the terrain we've seen so far has been incredible. Just the way it moves around your vehicle, the way the wheels interact with it as well. And a lot of the issues I have with the Scout is just me, you know, floor to the foot, foot to the floor, full on. Don't really drive it very slowly, just chuck it around. And I'm guessing once we move on to an icy map, that's probably not the best way of driving. I don't do it in all the other vehicles, to be fair. I don't know why it is, but the Scout just feels like you can just throw it around. I think that's why I tend to do it, because it feels like it can handle it. Okay, let's just get through these reeds and this bit of mud here, and then we'll see where we're heading now. A little house on its own. I'm guessing no one lives there anymore, so it looks like it's all boarded up. I do wonder if there are hidden things around. In fact, talking about that, I was watching Stu the Gamer the other day, and he was doing his latest SnowRunner episode, and he's in far-flung Russia, so miles away from us, and he was talking about hidden upgrades and hidden tasks on the map. So when in previous episode we went and looked at a building, a house, there was nothing there, but it was on the map as a house. It made me think, is there something there that it's not showing us? So I had that inkling just based on the fact that, for me, whenever I explore a map in any game, I look at things, landmarks like houses and stuff that are in the middle of nowhere on their own, as potential there's something there. But if you don't go there, you won't find it, kind of thing. That house kind of reminds me of that we just passed. I'm kind of wondering, maybe I should go around the back. Maybe we should look a bit harder around it just in case. And especially after speaking to Stu the Gamer and him saying about these hidden tasks and hidden upgrades, I think we've got to, maybe slow down a little bit when we see these houses in the middle of nowhere. And just double check. I'm not going back now. We're too far. We've moved on from that. I'm not going to try and cross the water back at this point. But something to think about going forward, I think, whenever we find a building on its own, actually have a proper look around it. I think the thing with this is it makes it a little bit more difficult because you can't just get out the car and walk around, can you? So obviously you've got to drive around the building. But I noticed that as we saw that house on its own there, it made me think of that conversation. And then I'm thinking, okay, I should have done what I thought I should have done, but I didn't. It's too late now. Okay, bit deeper water here. I don't think we've put the snorkel on the Scout 800 as of yet, which could mess us up. Although the water's staying, it's fairly low. That's also, I think, where the race suspension will help us in water. Again, speaking to LVs and Shoot the Gamer, a race suspension takes you off the floor. I know what I'm trying to say. It raises up the bottom of the car. So when you're in deeper water, the bottom of the car is raised higher than the water level, hopefully. So it means less water going into the engine. So these warnings you get about deep water, a race suspension should take that down a little bit. So you'll need the water to be a lot higher to get that same warning. But then again, you could just get a snorkel and do the same thing, to be fair. I'm not sure I'm assuming the snorkel is better for the vehicle in terms of, lots of water. A race suspension is good, but I'm assuming a snorkel really limits the damage, whereas a race suspension just makes it harder for the water to get in. Maybe, I don't know. I may be talking rubbish, but that's kind of my thinking of it. Although, like I say, I am worried about this race suspension and the fact that it's going to make the car potentially more unstable. I throw it around anyway, but I don't know. It may not. It may make it perfectly fine and actually make it better. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, race suspension, brilliant, but how is that going to affect how I use the car? I don't think it's going to change it massively. I'm still going to throw it around. It's just, I don't know what it is. I don't think I threw the Chevrolet around as much as I do the Scout 800. Although I do think the Scout 800 rolls so really easily as well. It's very top heavy, I think. I suppose the shape of it as well. If you look at the shape compared to the Chevrolet, the Scout 800 is more top heavy at the back especially. And I know we could take off the stuff on the top, but that would take away our exploring capability. Whereas at the minute, having the extra fuel, repair kits, makes it a lot easier for us. As we're getting stuck once again. We are getting through this mud. Come on. A bit firmer ground now, actually. That looks alright. Onto the firmer ground. I now get to throw this around a little bit more. As I've been talking about throwing it around, I'm going to get the chance to do it, I think. Oh, that patch of mud got us out there. But this is the thing that impresses me. This is a very early game vehicle, because we got it very early on. And yeah, it doesn't put a foot wrong, to be fair. Which surprises me for an early game vehicle. If this vehicle is this good now, although it is only in mud, admittedly, I wonder what later on vehicles can be like. Are they just going to be so much more powerful, make things so easy? Although I've seen Stu the Gamer do some, and he still struggles in some areas. So, I don't know. It's one of those. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to the day we replace the Scout 800. We may find it comes with us, but we'll see. We still haven't really fully decided when we go to Russia, Alaska. It's not Russia, Alaska next. What we're going to do in terms of vehicles. We are tipping. That winch didn't quite save us as I hoped. I think the autonomous winch also makes this vehicle so much better. Without the autonomous winch, we'd be recovering and stuck and everything else. It does work brilliantly. Yeah, I thought I'd save the vehicle there just by doing a quick winch to the tree, but it wasn't to be. But we're okay. Again, no damage. That's the thing. The suspension damage was done by a rock, I believe. We are nearly out of fuel, but we do have spare fuel on us, so we don't need to worry about that. But yeah, we'll figure it out once we get close. We've still got 2 more maps in Michigan to do we haven't been to yet. We need to get to them at some point. I'm trying to... There's still stuff on Black River to do. It was only because we had a mission that brought us here to Smithfield Dam that I thought, okay, while we're here, let's do a few things. Then we needed the ranking to get better tyres on the Fleet Star, which is our go-to. So we then looked around and gained that rank, and then we've kind of been in Smithfield Dam ever since. Now, I know there's jobs to do still in Black River. We will be going back. I'm trying to balance it up. Right, we've already got a vehicle here as we go over again. Again, I think it's because the vehicle's top heavy. I don't think it's all my fault, maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is it my fault for it folding over like that, and it's my driving style? Or is it because the vehicle is quite top heavy? I don't know. What was I saying? Oh yes, so we do need to go to Black River. There are things to finish off in Black River, so we will be going back there. I haven't forgotten about it. The other 2 maps, at some point we're going to go there as well. I think I'm trying to look at what missions are nearby, what can be done fairly simply and easily with the vehicles we currently have. Logging is something we need to do. We've been discussing this actually in the comment section about logging. I think it's going to take a little while. I think the first logging job in Black River is... I think it's 3 medium logs to one place, 2 medium logs to another, and another 3 somewhere else. So potentially that's what, 8-9 journeys, because I think you can only take 1 set of logs at a time, which is fine, and I don't mind it. I'm going to have to do it, but we're talking about whether we show all of that or we do 1 or 2 of the journeys and then skip around the rest. My plan for this series was always to show everything. That's why we do exploring, and it becomes an episode. I'll hold fire for a second. We've just found a new task. Michigan Trial. Okay. There's a couple of trailers in front of us as well. Michigan Trial. Let's have a look what this entails. Where are we? There we go. Okay, we've got to reach 5 flags. Fairly simple. We've done something similar in Black River, actually. Was that knock barrels over? I think it was in Black River, wasn't it? So that's something the Scout 800 is probably perfect for. So at some point we'll do that. Not today, as we have other things we want to achieve today. Cyborg trailer discovered as well. I think that's got metal on it. The other trailer doesn't come up as discovered, so it might be mission related potentially. I think I did just damage the engine by driving into it. Yeah, I wonder if that's mission related because it's not showing up as a discovered trailer. The other one looks like it's got metal beams in, so we need to remember those in case we have something nearby we need metal beams for. Okay, we're still trying to find this watchtower. It is over there. Let's try and... I wasn't going to go cross country, but I think we might now, if we can. Let's see if we can get through the trees. It's not too bad. I think we might be able to skirt through the trees and get across here without and follow the road round. Bit of engine damage. So I was saying about showing like logging missions fully. Like, the plan originally was to show everything. That's why we do exploring episodes. And I know, like Studio Gamer was saying that he's done some things off camera, but the majority of the missions on camera, and exploring is mainly off camera. I get that as well. Yeah, it's one of those. I know Elvis gave his opinion where he wants to see everything, which is fine, and that was the original plan, and it still is. I kind of still want to show it all. But let me know what you think. I'm more than happy to show it all. I'm kind of undecided as it stands. I am leaning towards Elvis's thinking though of showing everything because that was the original plan. That's our style. That's what we do. But I do understand Studio Gamer's point that it will get boring showing the same journey over and over. I've tried to limit how much music is in videos as well now in terms of SnowRunner. We found the other watchtower. I'll stop rabbiting on for a minute as we found the watchtower to see what this one shows us. We'll let everything catch up for a minute before we have a look on the map. But yeah, we had some comments about the music, and I understand that obviously music is not everyone's taste. It's not what people want to see. So we're trying to get rid of that. I think the last exploring episode it was mainly music based, me talking a little bit. So trying to stop that this time. Okay, so we found a few things here. We've got the gateway over there to Island Lake. So that's a new part of Michigan we've not been to. We'll go there at some point. We've got a mission over here. Repair the truck. Okay. I wonder if we're going to get the truck if we repair it. There's another mission over there. There's an upgrade south. What do we got? What's that? That's an international Transtar. Is that a vehicle for us that we could go and get and we gain a new... Oh, I think that's a new vehicle. Okay, that's something we're going to have to look at some point. I don't know when we're going to be ready to go and find that. Watchtower we're heading for next is over there. There is an upgrade along the way as well, actually. Looking at the map, there's an upgrade right there. We got the Michigan trial mission already. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what the best route is here. I think Watchtower's the focus. There's oil barrels in the water as well. That's going to be something we need to do. Okay, I think... What is our best bet here? Let's go for the upgrade first. We go back to the main road here. Kind of the way we came onto this way. Follow the road down till we get to the upgrade. We'll grab the upgrade first, then back to the road. What's that over there? I'm assuming the Watchtower showed that up, and then Watchtower from there. I think that's a good route. We're kind of at the back of the dam, aren't we, here? But, yeah, I think that's a decent route. We probably won't get to the other tasks picked up today, depending how long this takes us to get back onto the road and back and to the upgrade and the other Watchtower. But yeah, International Transtar. Okay, that's something... I'm guessing it's something we have to rescue. I'm not really sure how you know if it's something you need to rescue and you get to keep, or something you rescue for a job. It didn't come up as a mission. It just came up its name of the vehicle. So I'm thinking that's a new vehicle for us. We still need to buy the GMC back at some point as well. I don't know when we're going to do that. I think it's around 30,000. We've got to pay for it to get it back. We only sold it because we needed the money for tyres. Come on, split the trees. So yeah, that's something we need to think about. I'd rather buy it back sooner rather than later, because I don't want to leave ourselves short money-wise, because we've left it too long to buy it back. You know, I want to make sure we've got every vehicle with us every time, every map. So the GMC was a starter vehicle, and we probably have got some upgrades to make it better now. You know, we can put some. The big issue we had with the GMC was it was designed for roads, and the tyres weren't brilliant. The road tyres. We can obviously put better tyres on now. So I wonder if the GMC may be better than we first thought. To be honest, that's something we've got to think about and work out the best way of playing that. I'm definitely going to buy it back. It's just when. I don't want to leave ourselves short if we need money for new tyres or other things. We're not buying vehicles, so money isn't really for that. It's more going to be for upgrades, and well, the upgrades don't cost us money, but new tyres do. Things to go on the back of the trucks cost money if you haven't already got them. So things like that. So I've got to try and weigh it up. But we would at some point buy the GMC back, especially before we leave Michigan. I would like to use it on a mission in Michigan and try and give it a chance to redeem itself, should we say? Because, you know, I did give it a tough rep early on, and I struggled to use it, I think, efficiently because it was so only road bound. And at that point in Black River, we weren't really on the road very much. We are really getting close to tipping this over again. It's me going too quick. There is a little pathway down there. There's a road, isn't there, down the left hand side there? Okay. Yeah, so we'll get it back at some point, give it another chance to redeem itself. Same as the Chevrolet Kodiak. We've used it a couple of times. I like it, but obviously it does suffer with the lack of all-wheel drive and things like that. So that's why the Fleet Star, I think, is so good, because it's got engageable diff lock, it's got all-wheel drive, which I think is a must. You know, you can't go off-roading in some of these trails and some of the roads we have to use. We're going to go over again. Did I catch it? No, I didn't catch it. Too busy talking and not paying enough attention to what I'm doing. That's never a good combination, to be fair. We've rolled it again. Let's try and get this back on its four wheels, shall we? It's actually 2 feet. Back on its four wheels. Come on. Where can we get? What do you mean no viable winch point? There you go. It's only panic then. I'm not recovering this from here. It'd be ridiculous. Okay, let's see if we can get this back on its wheels. This might be a tough ask. Normally I find this really simple because we have the autonomous winch, but The lack of winch points is probably going to be an issue here. There's nothing to our right hand side which would right us near enough immediately, and that's the issue. We'll have to use things to the left and try and swing around. I know we might have it. Oh, that was close. Kind of swinging ourselves round nearly put us back on our feet there. On our feet, on our wheels. Feet, wheels, same thing. Come on. Let's get you round. I do think I'm getting a little bit better at this winching. And not necessarily saving ourselves, but trying to right the vehicle. Obviously, this is the only vehicle we can do it with. It's the only one with the autonomous winch. I don't know whether we should add autonomous winches to every vehicle. It's one of those that, obviously I can see their use, especially scout vehicles. You would hope you wouldn't tip over as much in the bigger vehicles, the trucks and the trailers and stuff, because obviously you lose your load. So you'd hope you don't tip as much. But would an autonomous winch save us in them moments? I'm not sure. And the autonomous winch is not cheap either. I think the one on this was 9,000. So to me that's not very cheap. So I don't know if we should put an autonomous winch on everything. Something we've got to work out as well. In terms of the other maps, we've just found the way to get to Island. What was it? Island something or other. We need to head there at some point. I don't really know when the right time will be. Probably when we get to a point with missions in Black River and Smithfield Dam, where the missions want us to go across. Because the main missions are the 3 companies. This is what I've worked out so far. Back on our wheels as well. What I've worked out so far, the main missions are the 3 companies we currently have in Michigan. So their missions are the main story I would go by, and the tasks are side missions. That's my kind of thinking. So when we get the main missions, the 3 company missions, take us. I rolled it again. No, I haven't. I thought I had them for a minute. I couldn't quite see where I was, and I thought I'd screwed up again. I think we're okay. Come on, round the tree. Round the tree. Come on. There we go. Back up and running. Okay, slow. Bouncing. Don't. Oh. We've got to slow down. It's bouncing so much. And yet we've got a raised suspension to put on this yet. Yeah, 3 companies. So my thinking is, when the 3 company missions, where there's no more to do in Smithfield Dam and Black River, will then, and it wants us to go to one of the other places, well, that's where we're going to have to head to. I think we'll hold off for that though. Side mission wise, we'll try and get as many side missions done as well as these main missions before doing other things. I'm just trying to, I like to plan missions in terms of, like, there's no wasted journeys, there's no empty journeys as such. That's kind of my thinking. So if we're going somewhere, take something else kind of thing. Hold fort for a second. Upgrade attained. Engageable diff lock for the GMC. Okay, so the GMC, we now have gained an upgrade for it, the engageable diff lock. It's another reason to buy it back, isn't it? Another reason to bring it back to the fleet. Okay, something we've definitely got to take seriously and think seriously about. We've got to bring it back at some point. I'll need to check money, see where we're at. Obviously, about leaving ourselves short, and see where we go with that. I think. Don't tip down this hill. Do not roll. Slow and steady. I think we're okay. This is turning at the bottom. That's going to be dodgy. No, we don't need to turn. We're okay. I thought we were going to turn there. No, we don't need to turn. It's straight. Follow the road. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll buy the GMC back. We've got an engageable diff lock at some point to put on. That's fine. But yeah, mission-wise, I kind of think the main missions take precedence, but a lot of the time, when you're heading somewhere, the side missions are easier to quickly achieve. So we're trying to mix and match missions and stuff and try and make it work that way. The big main missions we will be getting to. We've done a few in Black River as it is. I need to have a proper look at the list and see where we're at with different things. But we will be doing some of the bigger missions shortly. Or in due course at least. It's just a way of... We need to get them up. Today we needed to explore the map. We needed to make sure we had everything. Last episode we also did some exploration across the dam. We got a bridge built. Which was perfect. you know, this exploring needs doing. And as I said at the start, you know, we always said no. Again, rolled it. Every time I roll it, I lose focus because I'm trying to focus on what I'm trying to do and talk. Yeah, so we said we'd always share everything. So exploring episodes will be a thing, unless you guys say otherwise. I think that's definitely a thing we want to be doing. Last time we added a load of music in, we're not going to do that again. I think this episode's definitely been better with me messing up a few times, but just chatting away as we go. I think it definitely works better than the music. And I'm not really a fan of music either, to be fair, so I only put it in because it just saves me talking, but I'm more than happy to talk. You might just find me waffling on about nothing, though. Right, we're just waiting for everything to catch up from the Watchtower, and then we'll have a quick look at where we're at. This episode is getting on time-wise, so we're going to try and maybe get one more thing done if we can. I think that's every Watchtower now done on Smithfield Dam, though. I think that is all done. There's a sort of grey area there. I think it's because we've not been there. But there's an upgrade there as well. So we've got that looks like a pass we've got to unblock over there. So that's going to be a road we need to fix. There's a vehicle there. What's that? That's a Chevrolet CK1500. So that looks like another vehicle we can fix and then own. There's something over here as well, an emission. What? I don't know what that is. What is that? Yeah, the Chevrolet CK1500. We own one of those already. That's our other scout vehicle. So if we get a second one, do we just sell the second one? That's something to think about. I didn't realise we'd get a duplicate vehicle. I suppose there's no point in having two. I don't think there's a difference. We might have to, when we do finally get that car and pick it up, and I think it's going to be ours. Same as the Transstar, actually. What we'll end up doing is just comparing it to make sure there is no differences. There is a crossing there. I'm just trying to work out where we're going next. Crossing there. Upgrade over there. We need to get that up and running so we know what we need for the roadway there, I think. I don't know if we're going to have time today to do that. What's the best bet here? I want to do something before we finish. I think we may just have to go and pick up this mission over there. Just because everything else is further away. And we're going to be out of time shortly. There's two crossings though by the looks of things. Still some more upgrades. Yeah, so car-wise, yeah. So I think if we pick up the Chevrolet CK1500 and we do get to keep it, I think that's a prime one that we can sell. That we can then use that money to buy back the GMC. But we'll compare it to the one we already have. Just make sure there are no differences. Make sure there's nothing we can take off kind of thing. So yeah, I think that's probably the best shot there. Right, refueled and repaired. We're ready to rumble. So to finish off today's episode, let's go. Can we get there? Fixer upper. I think it's too far away. Find the antenna tower. Let's do this. Let's do the antenna tower, I think. I want to get the upgrades, but we are out of time for today. We're getting short on time, so try not to make the episodes too long, essentially. So yeah, I think we can head across from where we are, back to the road here. Can we get round the trees there, potentially? There is a gap in them trees, just there. I think we can. Okay, so what we'll do, to finish off today's episode, we're going to go ahead and pick up this task that's just in front of us. I say in front. It's a little distance. Hopefully we can get there without rolling the vehicle. And then next episode, we'll look to finish off a few things in this corner. So CK1500. Find out what these other tasks are that are nearby. Get that roadway opened as well, if possible. I think that's kind of going to be our focus for the next episode. But for today, to finish us off, let's go and find out what this task is. So at least that's another one in the books. I like the fact we actually physically have to go to the task location to find out what they are. You know, the Watchtower doesn't just give us the mission. I do like the fact we actually have to go there. It's like you go in there to speak to someone. Hi, my name's Fred. Could you go and do this for me, please? That kind of thing. I don't know where Fred came from, but Fred was the first name that came to mind. But yeah, so I like that. So we're going to go and get this mission. Find the... I wonder where the antenna is. Because the mission is find the antenna. We don't know where or what, but I wonder where it is. I bet it's in the middle of nowhere with loads of water or something. Come on, trees, let me past. Get stuck on the branches, I think. Can I get through? Okay. Yeah, I bet it's stuck in the middle of a lake or something. Tends to be where everything is. Okay, steep downhill. Brakes, 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 brakes. We didn't roll. We did not roll. It's always nice when we don't roll when we do these things. Right. Task is just here. Have a quick look around. I think we're good. Okay, so let's see the task. This is find the antenna. There we go. Well, find the antenna tower. We'll have a look what the mission entails. And then that will be it for today. Oh, we've already been there. Because we picked up the Michigan Trail mission earlier. It's actually the antenna tower we've already been to. Oh, that's a nice simple one then. Well, that'll be something we'll try and look at in the next episode. Hopefully, if we have enough time. There's a few other things we want to get done next time in terms of get the road opening, CK 1500, a few more missions and tasks to pick up around this area as well. Upgrade over there. Yeah, okay. Well, we know what it is. We know where it is. So, that is it for today. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back next time with more SnowRunner. And we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.